Thanks for joining us here with Chris at Car Cave in Aiken, South Carolina. Website is carcaveusa.com. Phone number is 803-262-4742. We're doing a walk around today of a 1986 Renault 5 GT Turbo Phase 2. So I know this car pretty well, at least for, I don't know, last 6 years or so. So we'll do a walk around, we'll talk through the history. If you do need any financing, reach out to us. We'll put you in touch with lenders we work with. We don't do it in-house, but we'll definitely clue you in on who we use and who'd be willing to finance an old classic like this, or maybe a young timer. So the Renault itself, it is a 1.4 Cleon Inline-4 Garret T2 Turbo. It puts out 113 horsepower, which you say, yeah, it's 113, but compared to its base model of 46 horsepower, this is a significant gain. 5-speed transmission. So the base model versus this is the body cladding here. So it gives it a different look all around. And this has a lowered stance. It's on Continental tires, the 14-inch steel Weller wheels, and actually went through a reconditioning in 2013. So had a full teardown, respray, repaint, went through the entire vehicle. It's documented, and we have the history documented pretty well. So we first came across this car in 2019, October. Bologna Auto Works had it for sale. It was up on the internet. We were in Belgium at the time. So we drove over there to take a look at it, ended up buying it, drove it back to our shop in Zonhoven, Belgium, and imported it to the United States. So sold it to a guy up in Jersey. That was May of 2020. It bounced around then to Long Island, and the owner at that time called us for some history on the car. We politely expanded on everything we knew about it, gave him the history we had, and shared it all and said, if you ever want to get rid of it, give us a call. Arman was going through the engine at the time, I think doing a head and adjusting valves and a couple other things. So we left the door open, and you can see the stakes as we're going through here. If there's anything I see specifically, I will point it out. But he was going through it, and he ended up with another car he wanted to buy. That's how us car enthusiasts are. He called and he said, hey, it's time. So we ended up buying it from him and came back here, and we've done a significant amount of work, including a motor rebuild. Went through some electrical, fixed some gauges, really gave it a solid shakedown. So it's a good, solid car. These are hard to come by that haven't been rusted out, and it is a blast to drive. It's one of my favorite cars. We drove it a lot first time it was here. Will, who did the motor build, went through 500 miles of break-in, so it's had the full runaround and full gamut of getting broken in, and then it's going to get its next oil change, I think on Monday, Tuesday. So it's 500-mile break-in. See a little tear in upholstery there. The back seat is pretty filled up by the roll cage, so you can kind of sit here in the middle behind it. We've stuffed one of our buddies in the trunk. We won't name names, but he was one of the Car Cave crew. You do have speakers here in the back. Someone had a sub at the back in the day. The rear bumper shows well. And when they tore it down, like I said, they documented it. So we do have copies of all the pictures and have pretty good history. So if you want to review any of that, give us a call. We'll go over it with you. And we've always liked the stance of this, just the way it sits. It has a nice turbo, spool up, and a blow off valve. It boosts well. The engine's running good. The interior is clean. Like you saw, a little bit of the interior in the back. You want undercarriage photos, reach out to us. We'll provide what you need. So you want more details, just let us know. We're more than willing to give you everything so you can make a good buying decision. Sorry, I sent down some paperwork. So, you have a little stain there in the headliner. You do have seatbelts still in the rear, and the cage is not bolted through, so it could be removable if you didn't like it, because it is a little bit of pain getting in and out just with the cage, but it's not bad at all. The seats are tight. They're nice and well bolstered. The bolsters here are in good shape. All the seat belts work. Currently has 218,000 kilometers on it, so 500 miles since the rebuild. Does have kicker component speakers. Has a cool design and layout of the dash. All your controls and kind of the choke, it takes a little bit for everyone to get used to. It is very French, including, let's see, we're not gonna get it. Does have power windows. Switches are there in the middle, and pretty besides that, not too feature complete. It's made to be an economy car, hot hatch turbo. So as you can see, the dash is clean, the gauge cluster. Will went through and made sure gauges were working. You do have a 5,500 rev limit, and you can go 220 kilometers an hour. I have not tested that. Remove the carpet here. Carpets are worn but clean underneath. There's no heavy staining. Like I said, both seats are in good shape. Shift boot's good. Shift knob, door cards. Visors do hit the roll cage. They're kind of permanently up. I forgot about that fun feature. It's been, I don't know, what, 5.5 years since I spent some real good quality time with her. We'll go under the hood here. You do have your silicone hoses, your strut tower brace, aluminum radiator, electric fan, new turbo. Actually, it's not new. Got a rebuild cartridge for it. If I recall correctly, we might have ended up with a full-blown turbo. I think we tried the cartridge. I'll have to look at our records. That looks like a full-blown new turbo. All the work in there. So call me, we'll review the records together. I didn't do a full memorization of it. I remember sourcing the swirl pot, some few other items on here. So just give you an idea under the hood. You have your jack right there. You want to see a driving video, just let me know. We'll take it out. It is very low to the ground up front, so you have to be careful. That front clip is susceptible to hitting things. So just be aware of that if you were interested in the car. You have the front fog lights internal to the grille, but all around unique, cool automobile. It's a great French hot hatch. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. If you want to see what we do here at Car Cave, we have a variety of Italian, French, German, American, Japanese. We don't discriminate on any sort of car. Okay, maybe a couple, but we won't name names. But we're used to working on unique cars here. So you can see the Land Rovers, you got a Pontiac, a Jeep, Mini GP, a V12 Benz, you got Porsche, NAS Defender, old FCJ 75 truck, a BJ 73, a Pulsar EXA Turbo, you have a Cortina, a Bronco. We have a full shop in back. So that's where we did all the work. We sourced the majority of the parts overseas. Like I said, you want to do a review on complete records, reach out to us. We will review them together. Let me go glance at my notes, see if there's anything else rings a bell here. What we got on camera. And again, our phone number is 803-262-4742. The website's carcaveusa.com. We'd be more than happy to do a bunch of driving video. It is super fun to take out. Let's see, did I leave anything off? We got over, it was a 5-speed. The repaint was done in 2013. And that was 0 to 60 time, 7.5 seconds. So it is pretty quick. The roll bar is not fully attached in there, so it can come out. We did the timing chain, carb rebuild, turbocharger, spark plugs, head gasket, cylinder head, oil panel, pressure gauge service, alignment, full detail. There's that strut tower brace. I don't know if the keyless entry is still 100% inactive. I would need to play with the key fob there. It used to have it the first time around. You have your silicone hoses. You have a Pioneer Bluetooth deck, kicker KS components, power windows, power locks. I believe when we did some research, there was something different that got switched over about the rear lights. So I need to go back in my memory log and memory bank and see if I can recall, like, these are the British style versus the Euro spec, and there's not an integrated rear fog light, which would be Euro standard, but there is something that's deviated from there. So you have that question, call. We'll go over with the team on it. We'll give you answers there. But I recall, if you look European law, you do have to have an actual fog light in the rear, and I think these were switched out, and then there's not the reverse light. So I think it was on that nature. Like I said, I'll sit down with the team and go over that one again. You know, finding full-blown history and research on something of this vintage that is not a US spec. My French is decent, but not perfect. It takes a little bit of time to go back. Since we didn't grow up with them, you got to learn them. That's a fun part of this thing. So, like I said, you have questions, reach out to us. We're here. It's Chris at Car Cave, carcaveusa.com. If you made it this long of my rambling, reach out. We'll give you some free merch. Otherwise, enjoy your morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you are viewing this footage.